Hello everybody. Today in English we are going to write our dragon poems. Yesterday you had a go at drawing and creating your own dragon, and then around that picture you put lots of descriptive phrases, and we were thinking about our year 4 targets and all of the wonderful skills that we've collected this year. So I was wanting to see examples of similes, metaphors, possibly some personification, some adjective strings. Might have also got some onomatopoeias in there, so that's your kind of your pows and your bangs. Anything like that would have been fantastic. The first thing I need to do is I need to come up with a title for my poem. And since the poems that we looked at last week were quite funny and humorous, I'm going to try and write my poem in that similar style. Now, I'm not going to use rhyming words in this. Some of the examples we looked at last week did have and some didn't. But I'm going to try and get one of my planning targets into each stanza. I'm going to call my poem My Best Friend's a Dragon. And I'm going to imagine that I've got a best friend who's a dragon and is going to come to school with me one day. So you might decide to also use this title. If you don't want to, you could use the title The Day I Took a Dragon to School, When I Met a Dragon, All I Want for My Birthday is a Pet Dragon. Anything like that would be fantastic. And if you've got your own ideas, please use them. Right, so I'm going to write my first stanza, and the rule I'm going to have for my stanza is that each stanza is going to be 4 lines, and I'm going to try and get one of those targets that I planned yesterday into each stanza. Here we go. I have a new best friend. And because there are going to be 3 more lines in this stanza, I put a comma there before I start the next one. You only put a full stop at the end of a stanza or another kind of punctuation that can act like a full stop. So I need to include those targets. I'm going to put in this next line, he's as tall as a giant and as strong as an ox. So they are examples of similes. He's as tall as a giant and as strong as an ox. I'll put a comma there. I'm going to go on to my third line. I took him to school one day. And a comma, and then I'm going to go on to my fourth line, in this stanza, and I think I'm going to say I took my dragon to school. How do you think he got on there? Not too well, I'm afraid. And I'm going to put, and he wasn't invited back. So I could have a full stop at the end of the stanza, but I think I'm going to put an exclamation mark because obviously some things go wrong on that day in school. So my next stanza, I'm going to go through different things that happened on that day. So the first thing is, I'm going to put when we were in maths. Imagine a dragon in your classroom going through your times tables with you. So when we were in maths, comma, my dragon got a cough, comma. Now I need to remember that I'm not just writing a poem that's funny and silly. I need to get those targets in. So I'm going to use one of the metaphors I wrote yesterday. His lava. Oh, a new line, Miss Genny. His lava breath melted my teacher's eyebrows. Oh, I need an apostrophe there, teachers, because the eyebrows belong to the teacher. Or they used to before they got burnt off. And then I'm going to put, make it a bit funny again, and I'll have an exclamation mark at the end of this stanza. He was frazzled to a crisp. And I'm going to put that exclamation mark there. So I've put that the teacher's a man, so I'm assuming, guys, that this dragon's gone into Mr. West's class and he's now got no eyebrows. Oh dear. I think of another lesson for my next stanza, and I think I'll make it a little bit more fun, a bit more outdoorsy. We'll write about PE. In PE, he grabbed the footballs. Now, what do you think would happen if something that had really sharp claws grabbed a load of footballs? You're right. What would happen is they would all burst and pop. So I want to get that simile in there, that his claws were sharp as razors. So I'm going to put, and with his claws as sharp as razors, he speared, that's a bit better than saying pops, isn't it? He speared each and every one. Oh dear, not going to be very good playing football. So what's he done? He's made them all squishy and all flat. So I'm going to put on my last line in this stanza, making flat pancakes. Now, they weren't actually pancakes, were they? So that, again, is a metaphor that wouldn't roll. Do you see that I'm ending every stanza with an exclamation mark, because it just keeps getting worse and worse for our dragon, doesn't it? And I'm going to finish mine off now. You can write as many stanzas as you want, but I'm just going to write a final stanza here. I'm going to try and get some personification in it. So I'm going to write, on our way home, people stopped and stared, which I think they would if you were taking a dragon home with you from school, walking around with a dragon. It would definitely draw quite a lot of attention. Right, that personification I wrote yesterday was that the trees shivered. So I'm going to get that in there now. The trees shivered as he passed, the bullies. So this would be quite good. If the bullies were waiting to get you on your way home from school, they're not going to hang around, are they, if you've got a dragon with you? So the bullies ran away. Well, how's your dragon going to react to that? And my dragon just shrugged and laughed. And I'm going to put an exclamation mark there. So, although it didn't go very well for your dragon going to school, he is your best friend. He sent the bullies away, and you're nice and safe and happy with your wonderful pet dragon, who might be called Bob, probably. Okay, so I want you to have a go at going on to Purple Mash now. There's a to-do for you to open up into write, and you can write your poem. Now, as I said before, you might want to make your poem rhyme, you may not. But I'd like to see the fact that you are writing in stanzas and having that rule of the same amount of lines in each stanza. When you've done your poem, you may want to perform it to somebody at home. Think about getting that expression in there and making it sound really, really exciting. Good luck, everybody, and I really look forward to seeing the work that you produce.